If you're trying to import a car that is maybe downloaded from a website or something, and you'll have to import it in Unreal, you'll have to go through few steps to create a working car. So since I'm going to be using the car that is already in the vehicle template from Unreal, I won't have to go through this. And if you are using some pack on the Epic's marketplace, you probably won't have to do this, but if you are getting the asset externally, you will have to import it, and then you'll have to keep in mind for some settings. So in Blender, I exported the car from Unreal and just imported it directly in Blender. And in previous video, I talked about how you're gonna have to think about the world units and how it converts from Blender to Unreal and stuff like that. This might be a bit easier if you're using 3ds Max or something, but for Blender you would usually have to think about these units. Now, since this vehicle is already exported from Unreal, this will be way easier to do. So to export this, I'm gonna click File, Export FBX, and I already have this this car that I exported. And the things that we need is armature and mesh. You would want to disable bake animations and disable leaf bones. So those are the main things. After that, click export and you should be ready to go. Now I'm gonna open my folder, and before I import it, I'm gonna create a new folder and call it new car. Inside here you can click on import, or what I'm going to do is just pull the file and just hover over it, and we get the import options. In here I also did few things, and that is, so normally it will create new materials for you and import the textures, but since I don't want to do that, I just disable it, so I don't have to just deal with random other assets that we won't go over right now. So let's click import. Now that you imported the files, you get three all important assets. So first is your skeletal mesh, which is basically your actual visible mesh. Then you have your skeleton, which is just collection of bones for this mesh. And then you have the physics asset, which is basically the collision for the car that you'll have to create separately, basically. So if we open our car, we can check out the approximate size, which seems to be fine. So if I pull it to the scene, we can see that the size is appropriate. Now if you open our physics asset, we can see that physics is not ideal, not something that we would want to use. So first let's delete everything. So I'm just going to click on every asset. Now you can see that these collisions are simplified versions of how the real collision would look like. So for performance, you basically don't want the collision to be the same detail as the car, because that will be way too costly. So what game developers do is just create simplified abstract shapes that can be mathematically created, like capsules, spheres, and stuff like that. So yeah, let's delete everything. Now we don't see anything in here, but we want to see the bones, so let's click on show all bones. In here we can see a few bones, and we are mainly interested in root and then these four physics for the wheels. So for the wheels, I could click right click add shape, and then add sphere. And after I add a sphere, I can click R on the keyboard, and then I can scale it in here. Or another way to scale this would be to go to this side panel, go to primitives, and find my sphere. And in here we have radius, and I can basically scale it up. Now it freezes for a second, so I'm just gonna type it down. And this way we can also kind of see the size of our wheel. So let me see the appropriate, maybe 40. Maybe something like this. It depends if you want it to go over or under the wheel. I think this is appropriate. And we should also do this for every other wheel. So let's add sphere, and now we already know, since the wheels are identical, that we just need 42. And let's add it to 2 other wheels. And 42. Yeah, and also you can select multiple physics bodies if you want to scale them at the same time. Now for the body, so the body would be a bit harder to create since there is a lot of curves and imperfections to the car. It's not just a simple square or sphere object. So there is few ways to do this. One way would be to externally, when you're importing the vehicle, to create a custom collider. Now he might be a bit more expensive than what we are going to do here, but it will be way more accurate. Now what I'm going to do is just create cubes and try to create 2 or 3 cubes to just encapsulate this car, and it will give you general collision area. So to do this, let's click on root, right click, add shape, and add box. Now when we are added the box, we have these settings that we can scale, and let's just type a number to see how much it will scale it. So it needs to be way higher than this, maybe 400. This does not look bad. Let's do 200 here, and maybe 200 here. So sides maybe need to be 220, and height is way too big, so let's move this up and then maybe do 120. Yeah, we can leave it at 120 for now, and then do maybe 440. Now this might be the most simple version of a collision for the car. Now we have one big problem. So we have some imperfections like in this angle where there is some collision that maybe is unwanted. But the big problem will be with the collision in front of the car. This whole part does not want, we don't want collision for the whole part there. So to fix this, let's do 340. Maybe even smaller, let's say 250. Something like this maybe. So what we can do is basically add 2 colliders. So right now I can right click on the root, or right click on this root and then add box. Now we created another box, and to scale it we can click in here and get the scales of the other box. So for the primitives we have kind of the array of all of the objects here, and then you can separately scale them up. So let's first click on the big cube and see some options. So we want X to be different, but Y and Z, or Y to be the same. So it will be 220. Z will probably around 100. And then let's see how this fits together. So Z is a bit too big still, so let's do 80. And the location, we want it to be exact as the other one. So let's see, let's round this to 60. And now this might be a bit harder to do, but we need it similar in here. And let's say that this is about it for the collision. Of course, you can do in more detail, maybe make this collision smaller from the sides, then create some box colliders for the front. But of course, this all depends on what type of collision you want. This collision is a bit more arcadey. You might use this if you're creating maybe a top-down game where you don't need much precision with the colliders, but custom collision I would advise if you are creating more realistic car simulator or a game. But for now, let's say we are satisfied with this. Let's then go to our new blueprint where we would replace this car. Right now I'm not going to set it in here, but you would have to set your new car as a skeletal mesh in our car blueprint, and also you'll have to create an animation blueprint for your car. So that would be doing something like this: create animation blueprint, and it will automatically create an animation blueprint for your skeletal mesh. And the last thing that you would have to worry about in here when setting up our new imported car would be to go to the collision and set collision presets to vehicle. And this kind of sets you up nicely and automatically for all of these things. How each other type of collider or object responds to your car. And yeah, that should be about it for the importing.